Evening. Well, this is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Kettering City Council. Today's date is January 9th, 2024. Certainly want to start off by welcoming our two new members, Shane Sullivan over here and Brian Sudduth right down there. Okay. Please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please bow your heads. Dear Lord, thank you for your abundant blessings and surrounding us with stewardship and a supportive community in Kettering. We thank you for the ability to engage in useful work and for the honor of bearing these important responsibilities. We are grateful for your boundless love for all of us. Please continue to give us the strength and compassion with which to serve, and grant us the wisdom to make appropriate decisions. Help us remain humble and grateful for the opportunity to lead. Guide this council so that we may work in harmony while serving our citizens with integrity and purpose. Allow us to fulfill the responsibilities entrusted in us by our residents. I would like to recognize our Miami Valley Communication Council TV operator, Mike Ciproni. Mike, thank you for your assistance. That hand up there. Okay, we are going to start off with swearing of our elected officials. We'll do them one at a time. I would like to, let's see, Lisa would be going first, but we've got a different person. Let's do Rob first, Bob. Do Bob first. And he is going to be sworn in by his clerk, by our clerk of council, Rob Scott. Courts. Gotcha. That's what I have her here for. So come forward, Rob and Bob. Yeah, where's Bob? Okay. Bob is elected to District 2 with a term that ends on 12/31/27. And
Mr. Scott, raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I, Robert Lee Scott II,
I, Robert Lee Scott II,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support the Constitution
I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the State of
of
Ohio,
the State of Ohio,
and the Charter and ordinances
and the Charter and ordinances
of the City of Kettering, Ohio,
of the City of Kettering, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully
and I will faithfully
and impartially discharge
and impartially discharge
the duties
the duties
as a member of the Kettering City Council
as a member of the Kettering City Council
of the City of Kettering
of the City of Kettering
during my term in office.
during my term in office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
we're going to go with Lisa next. Come on down. And since I don't have a son on council, I get to do this myself.
Okay, I'm gonna give my kids a choice if they want to come up or not.
All of them come on out.
Oh, sorry, the mayor says you have to.
You have to. She planned that, you know.
She
All
had 5
three
the
of them.
last mayor, just so you know.
She can do that. Okay. All right. Raise your right hand. I, say your name,
I, Lisa Duvall,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Kettering, Ohio,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Kettering, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties
as a member of Kettering City Council
as a member of Kettering City Council
of the City of Kettering
of the city of Kettering
during my term in office.
during my term in office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right.
Hey, oh, we can talk too. Michael Ellie
Like,
You can shake her hand.
okay.
Not a high five?
Not out here. What a high five are you going to shake?
Take a high five.
Great. We will now move to, which one wants to go first, Brian or Shane?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay. And do you have some family you'd like to join you?
I do.
I bet I know who they are. Come on. I gotta stand next to you, Dad. Good to see you. You too. Okay. All right, you all gonna join in? Okay, great. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Shane Sullivan,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Kettering, Ohio,
and the Charter and the ordinances of the City of Kettering of Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties as a member of Kettering City Council
the duties of a member of the Kettering City Council
of the City of Kettering
of the City of Kettering
during my term in office.
during my term in office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Maggie? I have a Maggie. And how about you? Eleanor? Ruby? Well, thanks for coming. You're welcome anytime. And your mother? Jessie. Jessie. Okay.
Thank you.
We'll see y'all later. Come back soon, okay? Okay. Thanks, Shane. And Brian. She's here. Come on, Melissa. I didn't know if I wonder where you were. Yeah. I was going to say, where did she go? All right. Raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Brian Sledda,
Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Kettering, Ohio,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of Kettering, Ohio,
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
and that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties as a member of Kettering City Council
the duties as a member of Kettering City Council
of the City of Kettering
of the City of Kettering
during my term in office.
during my term in office.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Melissa. Okay. Brian's got two sons that are off at school, I believe now. But,
One's teaching school, one's at school.
one's teaching it. Great. All right. Well, thank you. Okay. All four of these council members are serving terms that will end in 12/31/27. That's Lisa, Bob, I previously indicated that, Shane Sullivan, and Brian Sudduth. All terms ending 12/31/27. Okay. At this point, we are going to appoint a new vice mayor. Actually, not a new one. We have a nomination to appoint, who'd like to take the nomination?
I will nominate Jackie Fisher for another term as vice mayor.
Okay. It's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. All right. The motion has been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Okay. Anyone opposed? Okay, they are not. Jackie isn't here tonight. She is in Columbia, I believe. So hopefully we'll be back next week safely. But we want to approve the minutes from the last council meeting, which was December 12th, 2023. And I'd like to call on Mrs. Hall for a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved?
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. The motion has been moved and seconded. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Lane?
Yes. Okay. Appointments, we just need to, this is for various committee chairs that we do on a semi-annual basis. There won't be a need to vote for these. I will just list them, and that'll be it. So, Long Range Planning Committee, Mrs. Fisher will be the chair, along with Mr. Sudduth. Intergovernmental and Interagency Relations, Mrs. Hall is the chair, and Mrs. Fisher is the other member. Community Relations and Promotions, Ms. Duval is the chair, and Mr. Sullivan. Finance and Personnel, Mr. Sullivan is the chair, with Mr. Scott. Public Health and Safety, Mr. Sudduth is the chair, and Mrs. Hall. Public Service, Mr. Scott is the chair, with Ms. Duval. Okay, the following appointments to additional committees include to the Sister City Committee, Jackie Lawless, Susan Barber, Janet Bolton, Claudia Wells, Joshua Weiland. These are all for terms ending 12/31/26. Personnel Board of Appeals, Jeffrey Mullins, Aaron Smith, terms ending 12/31/24. Kettering Arts Council, Courtney Medlin, Tanya Everhart, both with terms ending 12/31/26. Pat Higgins, Tracy McElfresh, John Schmidt, Megan Thomas, Michael Weber, for terms ending 12/31/25. Volunteer Advisory Council, Joan Fisher Hatton, Sabrina Larson, both terms ending 12/31/26. Sustainability Committee, Leah Sefferly, term ending 12/31/26. Planning Commission, Ray Waskey, term ending 12/31/28. Civil Service Commission, Aaron Smith, term ending 12/31/29. Partners for Healthy Youth, Melinda Moore, for a term ending 12/31/26. Board of Community Relations, LaSue Juniel, Gwen Owens, and Bill Cheerhart, terms ending 12/31/26. Board of Tax Review, William Forstoffel, Cynthia Platt, for terms ending 12/31/25. Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Advisory Board, Jamie Jarozik, term ending 12/31/28. We have a motion to approve.
I motion to approve.
It needs to be seconded. Seconded by Mrs. Hall. The motion has been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Are there anyone opposed? Okay, not hearing anyone opposed. That is all of our committee appointments tonight. These will come up throughout the year, and they all are complete volunteers that work just at their own, out of the goodness of their hearts and their own talents, and are very symbolic of the level of volunteers that we have to help us run this community. We could not be the community we are without folks like this and so many others. If you have an interest in serving on any of the boards and commissions, you might talk to your council member, who is your district rep, or I'd be happy to take the call, or anyone, Sean in the clerk's office, and anyone would be happy to talk to you about the opportunities that are out there. There are no specific qualifications for most of these, and they're just things that you're interested in helping us with. So feel free to ask for an application. Doesn't have to be immediately or anything. We fill spots as they become available. But please contact the City Council office for an application if you're interested in volunteering for anything. Okay. We have no public hearings this evening. Is there anyone here in the audience who wish to address council on the issues related to legislation that are coming up today? If there is anyone who wishes to address legislative issues, you may come before council with your comments or new information about the legislation on tonight's agenda. Each speaker is limited to 5 minutes. Speakers must state their name and address, and comments should be addressed to council. If you have comments that are not about the legislation on tonight's agenda, there will be an opportunity for those to be heard later in the meeting. Is there anyone who wishes to address council? Okay, not seeing anyone, we will move on. We will go now to ordinances in second reading, and there are none. So we will move to resolutions, and I'd like to call on Mr. Sullivan to introduce. Let's start.
Okay. All right. I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to contract with the Center for Internet Security for cybersecurity software and services. The estimated cost and the amount budgeted is $39,600. It is requested by the Administrative Systems Department, and I move for approval.
Second?
Okay, I believe Mr. Bergstresser? You.
I'll handle it.
Mr. Greason going first?
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be brief. As Mr. Sullivan outlined, this allows us to contract with the Center for Internet Security. It's part of our effort to improve cybersecurity preparedness by upgrading some of our software. Be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? Okay, hear none, call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yep.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudiff?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing payment of 2024 membership dues to Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. This is, the estimated cost is $30,666.86. The amount budgeted is $30,700. This is being requested by Planning and Development Department. I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved in second. Mr. Greason?
Yes, Your Honor, the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission does important work in our region, is an entity that coordinates a lot of planning activities and serves as our metropolitan planning organization, and we often seek grant funds, federal grant funds through them. We certainly support council approving this membership. The reason this is before you is it is above $25,000, and I recommend its approval.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions of Mr. Greason? Okay, call the roll.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the 2024 curb, sidewalk, and drive approach repair program. City project number 05-124. The estimated cost and the amount budgeted is $2.18 million and is requested by the engineering department. I move for approval.
Second?
Been moved in second. Mr. Bergstresser?
Thank you, Your Honor. As mentioned, this resolution will allow the city to advertise for bids and contract for our annual curb, sidewalk, and driver approach repair program. This year, the program will include streets in the Newcomb Knolls neighborhood, which is the neighborhood across Woodman Drive, directly across from the Tenneco plant. It also includes streets in the Dell Ridge neighborhood, which includes portions of Brookdale Drive, Dell Ridge Drive, and Shrub Drive. And also the Dellwood Estates neighborhood south of West David Road, which includes Carlisle Circle, Fawnwood Road, Silverwood Drive, and Stanton Hall Court. Under the same concrete repair construction contract, we will be performing asphalt resurfacing at approximately $500,000, and funds for that program, part of the program, will come from the excess gas tax funds that we receive from the state of Ohio. We're also receiving 2 OPWC grants, Ohio Public Works Commission grants, for paving work in the Dell Ridge area as a $51,000 grant. In the Dellwood Estates neighborhood was a $36,000 grant. And these grants were included in the estimated cost, excuse me, and they are also in relation to recently completed Montgomery County water main replacement projects. This is an assessment program, so property owners will be assessed for the curb, sidewalk, and drive approach repairs. Previously, on October 10th, Council approved the resolution of necessity for this project. Be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall? Mayor Laner?
Yes.
I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and/or use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes and to contract for the 2024 street maintenance program. Estimated cost and amount budgeted is $2.175 million, requested by the engineering department. I move for approval.
Second.
Been moved in second. Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is our annual street maintenance program, capital improvement program. There are several different projects that are being improved through this resolution tonight. The first of which is a $1,650,000 general asphalt resurfacing and management program. It includes approximately $1.1 million in general neighborhood resurfacing. It also includes $350,000 to resurface Woodman Drive from Danube to Dorothy, and also to resurface a portion of South Dixie Highway between Stroop and Hoyle. It also includes $75,000 for our pavement management system, which is a program we do every 4 years to rate the pavement condition of every street in Kettering, and we do that every 4 years. Also included is our concrete repair program, our ADA curb ramp repair program, and other miscellaneous programs to bring the total up to the requested amount. Be happy to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions? Okay, seeing none, call the roll.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Mayor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the East David Road improvements, Far Hills to Ackerman project, city project number 02-116R, ODOT PID 110254. Is estimated to cost $1,233,000, and the budget is the same. This is requested by the engineering department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is another capital improvement program that we are planning to complete this year. It is improvement projects on East David Road between Far Hills and Ackerman. This is kind of a catch-all project for what we are going to be doing. First off, we will be making repairs to deteriorated curb and drive approaches. We will be replacing curb ramps. We will be reconstructing parts of the street with new full-depth pavement. We'll be replacing the traffic signal and school flashers at the intersection of David Road and Ackerman. And then finally, when all that work is done, we will repave the road again from the project limits from Far Hills to Ackerman. We were awarded quite a bit of outside funding for this project, a $695,000 grant from the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission through their surface transportation program, a $310,000 grant from the Ohio Public Works Commission, and the balance of Kettering funds is estimated to be $228,000. Be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the Miami Valley Research Park Bike Path Project. City project number 05-004M. The estimated cost and the amount budgeted is $350,000. It is requested by the engineering department, and I move for approval.
Second?
Okay, Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This could be referred to as a missing link bike path project. It will construct a new 10-foot wide bike path along the north side of Research Boulevard between Woodman Drive and College Drive, and also a short segment of widened sidewalk between Founders Drive and Spalding Road, all within the Miami Valley Research Park. We were recently awarded $125,000 through the state capital budget, which is being administered by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources. Again, this $125,000 grant, the estimated Kettering funds are $225,000 to complete this project. Be happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions? I do have one I'd like to answer. If you can't answer it, just say so.
Certainly give it a try.
I would love to know how far we have to go to complete the bike path. We do it in bits and pieces over the years. Do you know what percentage of the proposed path is yet to be done?
So this will, if you just talk about just Research Park, this is kind of like the...
Countywide.
Sure, yeah. This is just kind of the last piece of bike infrastructure that we have to build in Research Park as of right now. We do have existing bike paths along County Line Road and Research Boulevard north of Shakertown, across from Bergamo. And then we also have a bike path along Spalding Road that connects into the Iron Horse Trail that eventually goes into Dayton and Riverside. We are anticipating and hopeful that the Flight Line Bikeway, which is a joint project with the City of Dayton that we're working on property acquisition with them on right now. We are hopeful that that will get completed this year, and we'll be able to start applying for funds. And this will be a missing link. This will be a link between the existing bike paths in the Research Park and that future flight line, and then really any other bike paths that we have connected throughout Kettering.
Great, thank you. My husband and I bought e-bikes, I'll admit, this summer, and we have really found it's a wonderful way to get to know the surrounding area, and they're fabulous bike paths. They're really great, so thank you.
Mhm.
All right, no one else had any questions? We'll go ahead and call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the West Stroop Road Sidewalk Overland Trail to
No.
Southmore Circle
No,
Northwest
no.
Project.
Wrong one,
I'm on the wrong one?
the one above that.
Okay, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the West Avenue Pedestrian Bridge Project, City Project Number 03-948B. The amount that it costs and the amount budgeted is $250,000 and is being requested by the engineering department. Move for approval.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. As mentioned, this resolution will allow the city to advertise for bids and contract for a new pedestrian bridge along West Avenue. This project will be built adjacent to the West Avenue vehicular bridge, which is going to be rehabilitated later this spring, later this winter and into early spring. This new pedestrian bridge, again, will be built alongside it and will provide better connections for pedestrians and bicyclists wishing to move to and from the soon-to-be-completed Gentilly Park. Be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? All right, call the roll.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the West Stroop Road Sidewalk Overland Trail to Southmore Circle Northwest Project, City Project Number 05-213E, ODOT Project MOT. West Stroop Sidewalk, PID 110255. Estimated cost, $440,000. That is the amount budgeted, requested by the engineering department. I move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This project will construct a new sidewalk along the north side of West Stroop Road between Overland Trail and Southmore Circle. This is the first of two phases. A second project, which is scheduled for construction in 2025, will complete another missing link between Stonebridge Road and Ridgeway Road along West Stroop Road. For this project, again from Overland to Southmore Circle Northwest, we did receive a $264,000 Transportation Alternatives Grant from the Miami Valley Regional Planning Commission. The Kettering estimated balance is $176,000 to complete the project. Be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, I know that citizens in that area have been asking for this for a long time. So.
Yes, they have, and we'll be very, very happy to complete this project. It's
Yeah.
been requested for a while.
Great. Anyone have any questions?
Say I lived 12 years in Huber South, and we always wanted a direct path from there to Far Hills. And I'm glad to see another part of that is complete, and we're getting closer to connecting Far Hills to Dixie.
Okay. Call the roll.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall? Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to advertise for bids and to contract for the Wilmington Pike Drainage Improvements Project, City Project Number 02-108U, and the Wingview Drainage Improvements Project, City Project Number 03-620. Estimated cost and amount budgeted for Wilmington is $30,000, and for Wingview it is $60,000. This is requested by the engineering department. Move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. These are two small drainage improvement projects that are in this year's budget that we are planning to bid together for economies of scale. The first one is on Wilmington Pike, just south of the Smithville-Wilmington intersection. We've had some storm sewer interconnection issues, clogged pipe or two that leads to flooding when we have heavy rain events, and so it will fix that issue. And then over the years, we've received concerns about drainage on Wingview Drive, south of David Road, and this will complete drainage improvements along that residential street to help out with surface water drainage, especially during this time of year when it gets cold and we get some freezing going on. So be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Okay. Call the roll.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes. Okay.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to purchase equipment through sealed bids, negotiated quotes, or cooperative purchasing program. This request is in the amount of $1,943,300, the same as the amount budgeted. It's requested by the Finance Department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, great. Mr. Greason, I think we're back to you.
Yes, Your Honor. As you know, each year we budget for the replacement of equipment. We have a pretty important life cycle maintenance program for all of our equipment and scheduled replacements for it so that we can ensure that we have adequate equipment to perform the tasks that our citizens need and deliver quality services. So I'm going to outline, if you will bear with me, the equipment we'll be purchasing as part of this resolution and consistent with the adopted budget. In the police department, 3 marked police vehicles at $169,200 is the budget. 2 unmarked police vehicles, $69,000 is the budget for that. In the fire department, 1 medic, the budget's $422,000, and 1 passenger van at $72,000. Also in the fire department, a one 4x4 truck, a budget of $72,500. In engineering, one inspector's truck, budget of $53,300. And one piece of GPS survey equipment at $33,000. In our streets area, one heavy dump truck at $235,000 is the budget, one joint sealer at $60,000, one upfit heavy dump truck, which is budgeted for $119,300, one concrete saw, $53,000, one flatbed pickup truck at $80,000, one flatbed dump truck at $290,000. In parks maintenance, we're asking approval for 2 crew cab trucks at $110,000, and in facilities, one van at $60,000 and one small pickup crew cab truck at $45,000 is the budget. Be glad to answer any questions that you may have about it.
Is this kind of an unusually high number of vehicles?
No, I don't think so. We have a significant fleet operation to support a wide and varied array of services. And obviously, this is not only, this is a combination of, equipment, larger vehicles that support operations, and then, our more routine vehicles.
I just wondered if we were still catching up with a couple
Well, I
of
think in
years
some
off.
areas we are, because there were years that were delayed for budget reasons or supply chain issues and COVID and whatnot. So certainly there's some of that, but I'm not sure this is an unusual year.
Okay, all right. Anyone else have any questions? Okay, seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Sudiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for consulting services to complete an operational analysis of the Fraze Pavilion. The estimated cost and the amount budgeted is $70,000. It is requested by the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department. I move for approval.
Second?
It's been moved and second. Mr. Greason?
Yes, Your Honor. This analysis, we would be selecting a consultant to help complete an operational analysis of one of our most beloved facilities, the Fraze Pavilion, and our operations there. The analysis would include recommendations for operational improvements, a community survey, asking what our residents think, industry benchmarking, and the review of current contractual services utilized by the Fraze.
Okay.
Be glad to answer any questions.
Any
you have.
questions? Okay, seeing none, call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudiff?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to apply for brownfield remediation grants from the Ohio Department of Development. There's no cost associated, and this is being requested by the Law Department.
Move for approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Greason?
Yes, Your Honor. The brownfield remediation grant from the Ohio Department of Development can be used for site assessments or for site cleanup and remediation. At this time, we're submitting an application to help pay for the cost of site assessment of the former Cheerheart Cleaners property, which is located at 2659 Patterson Road and is owned by the city of Kettering. You may recall that previously City Council authorized a contract with Patriot Engineering to help perform the said assessment. Ultimately, there'll be a local match of 25% of the total project cost, and we may at some point apply for additional grants as warranted. I'd ask Mr. Hamer if he has anything to add, and we both are ready to answer any questions you may have.
I have nothing to add, Mr. Greason.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay, call the roll.
Mrs. Hall? Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudiff?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes. Okay, that ends the, Yeah, that ends the ordinances. The resolutions. We will now take ordinances in first reading, and don't believe we have any. We do not have any. Okay. Do we have any certifications and petitions?
Your Honor, we did not have any certifications or petitions this evening.
Okay, thank you. By the way, I did not mention that Jackie Fisher has an excused absence this evening, so will not be here. City Manager's report, community update.
Yes, Your
What you
Honor.
got for us?
Thanks for the chance to provide the community update, and my warm welcome to Mr. Sullivan and Mr. Sudduth. We look forward to serving you. In 2024, once again, you got to get your dog license. Dog licenses are now on sale. Forms are available at area pet supply stores, some vet offices, and the Animal Resource Center. They can also be purchased at the Kettering Police Department by contacting Shelley Davis at the number on the screen. The deadline to purchase dog licenses is January 31st, so please get your dog license. This is a great program, particularly this time of year at the Latham Senior Center, which, if you don't know, is located at 2900 Glengarry Drive. The ARP Foundation Tax Aid Program. It offers free tax preparation to anyone, including residents who are 50 years of age or older. Appointment scheduling begins Tuesday, January 9th, and residents can call the number on the screen to schedule an appointment. There are 3 options for Christmas tree disposal if you have had a live Christmas tree, I should say, at this point. First, at no extra charge from December 26th through mid-January of each year, Rumpke will collect Christmas trees that are placed at the curbside for collection. They can't be any larger than 9 feet. So if they're longer than 9 feet, they need to be cut in half. You can take them to the City of Kettering Yard Debris Center, which is at 1840 Woodman Center Drive, or the Montgomery County Solid Waste Facility, which is in Moraine at 1001 Increte Lane. City of Kettering administrative offices will be closed on January 15th in observance of Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. If you want to watch some of the best high school basketball in the entire country, please go to Fly Into the Hoop at the Trent Arena this weekend, Friday, January 12th through Monday, January 15th. We want to let people know there may be some additional traffic in our community as a result of this significant event, Fly Into the Hoop. And we want to note some of the service changes. The fitness center will be open regular hours. However, during the event, the track will be closed. If you're going to the fitness center, just show your fitness membership card to the parking lot attendants, and they'll help you show you where to park. And we appreciate everyone's patience and understanding during a big event in our community where there'll be some extra traffic. And once again, if you're a basketball fan, go to the Trent. That's all, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. Okay. Let's see. All right. At this point, if you would like to come speak before City Council, please come down to the podium. Each speaker will have a 5-minute limit. Speakers are asked to state their name and address. Is there anyone who would like to speak before council tonight? Okay, nobody's coming forth, so we'll move ahead with City Council reports. And I believe we're starting with you, Mr. Sullivan.
All right, I'll kick it off. I don't have a lot to report, I guess, tonight, other than say I'm really excited to be here. Anybody who knows me knows I really love Kettering, so this is exciting for me. I've watched a lot of these on YouTube or from in the stands, so it's a little surreal being up here with you guys. So I'm excited to learn from you guys and serve with you guys over the next 4 years. And I got to say thank you to my wife, I think, she was here tonight, took the kids. She's picking up a lot of the slack. Obviously, you guys know the spouse of somebody doing something like this. more bedtimes on our own and things like that. So I also want to thank my parents who are here tonight,
Oh.
who are born and raised in Kettering, Fairmont East grads. Sorry, Bob. That's where they met.
Someone had to do it.
But I think they're the reason I love Kettering as much as I do, just hearing them talk about it growing up, and it always felt like a special place. So I'm excited. And then last thing, I just want to thank Bill Lauder and Tony Klepaz, who are kind of Kettering legends in my mind. Bill encouraged me to run, and so if Bill thought I could do it, that meant a lot to me. And then Tony's just been incredible, super nice, answered any question I've had. So I respect those guys. They're good role models for me. So, but that's it from me.
Well, thank you, and we're certainly glad to have you with us.
Thanks.
So, and then Jill?
Not much for me, just want to welcome our new members. Really glad that you guys are here, Shane and Brian, and wish everyone a happy new year. And we did a lot of good stuff last year on council, and I look forward to all the great stuff we'll do this year.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Scott?
Thank you, Your Honor. As I start a new term on council, I feel it's incumbent for me to say how much of an honor and a privilege it is to serve the residents and business owners of this city. And as always, I pledge to do my best to look out for their best interests at all times. I want to thank my better half, Letty Scott, for being here this evening and putting up with me at council meetings and running for office, and of my immediate family that's still here in the Dayton area, my stepdaughter Lauren and my grandsons Jax and Braden. Their first experience with local government was this evening. And also I've got to put a shout out to the Honorable Clerk of Courts for swearing me in again. I also want to welcome Brian and Shane. You guys got big shoes to fill, okay? But I know you do good, and we've already hit the ground running. And last but not least, to continue the tradition started by Tony Klepaz, I feel it's important for me to mention something about Kettering. And according to the U.S. Census Bureau, the per capita spend in Kettering is $37,000. Now, that's not just retail, that's the total per capita spend by resident. But of that $37,000, a lot of it is retail, stores, eating establishments. So shop and buy Kettering.
I wondered who was going to pick up on Tony's.
I asked his blessing at the last council meeting to do that.
Okay.
I would also like to welcome Shane and Brian. I'm thrilled that you guys are here. Looking forward to the next 4 years serving with you guys. I don't have a lot to report, kind of along with the theme. I want to thank my family and my friends who came tonight for my swearing in, especially my kids. They're kind of forced to do stuff like that, and they usually have pretty good humor about it.
They have
So,
smiles on their faces.
so I do want to say that when every year, I guess, boards and commissions and all that are switched around. So Mr. Sullivan and Ms. Hall, you'll be serving with me on MVCC. You'll like it. They're really nice over there. They do so much good. And I'm a little sad to say that Brian will be taking over BCR for me. So no more of me pushing all the BCR stuff on you guys. But I know you'll do a great job. I will miss them quite a bit. So good luck to you, and enjoy them, and be nice to them for me. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
And last but not least.
I was honored to learn that BCR, every meeting has snacks.
Not
So,
every meeting. Not every meeting.
well,
Don't
it
get
does
too
now.
excited.
It does now. That's starting this month.
They'll be happy to hear that.
He's bringing them now.
On that, I did get to attend my first ribbon cutting this week, which was pretty surreal. If you know me, you know I'm a foodie. And so I got to join the mayor and Mr. Scott for the ribbon cutting of 5-grain noodle on Dorothy, just near Wilmington Pike. And that was great to meet those owners and know that they've been members of our community for 7 years, and just this new business just here for the last couple of weeks. So it's very exciting. On the same topic, Taco John's opened. If you went to college in the Mid-South, you know how important that is to have a Taco John in our community. And I'm glad Kettering is now home to that. So I will say, eat Kettering. You shop Kettering, we'll eat Kettering together. I also just wanted to do some thank yous to two very good friends that are here, Scott Sliver and Ashley Webb, former council member, here tonight. Both instrumental in me being here. Also, my wife is here tonight. She's put up with this political stuff for almost 20 years. Thank you. Also, for Shane and I, it's been surreal as the new guys, and I just want to thank Shauna and Matt for the warm welcome, the tips, the tricks, the inside information, and the chance to meet with all the department heads and making us feel welcome and getting us up to speed as much as they could in those few short minutes we had together last week. So thanks for the onboarding, thanks for the welcome, and excited to be here.
Okay, thank you. And once again, we're just thrilled to have you all in place and ready to go. And I know I really want to add to the shout out for the city for the time and effort they put into getting the two of you well oriented. And you're spotless, a lot better than I do. Yeah, so once again, thank you. The only thing I would like to add is that Monday is Martin Luther King Day. And there is an annual march downtown that starts at 9:30. I'm trying to think where they're gathering on 3rd Street, 1323 3rd Street. I'm not quite sure. That's not Courthouse Square, is it?
No.
Anyone know? No. Does anyone know where that is?
It's the health center near Lawrence Dunbar.
Okay. Okay, all right. Great. Well, it starts it says it's a march and a rally. I'm not sure where they're marching from to, but that's this week. There's some other things that are going on. There's a dinner, I think, Monday night, which I think you can still purchase tickets for. But I think it's important that we continue to commemorate the life of Dr. King and encourage those of you who are able to go out. And hopefully it's not going to be freezing cold. I know some years we've really battled chill. So that's all I have for tonight. Thanks once again for everyone for being here. Our next regularly scheduled meeting for City Council will be January 23rd, and this meeting is now adjourned.